me. How did that country become such a mess? Well, you're not going to believe it. It was a pompous douche named Pierre Trudeau. That's the whole thing. Justin Trudeau got elected because his dad is known as this icon. Trudeau-mania, we called it when he was running. We loved him. And Trudeau sucked. So it's not the son of a legend, it's the son of an even worse guy, possibly. It'll be fun quantifying who's worse. Trudeau's the guy, he was popular because I guess his wife slept with the Rolling Stones, and he gave some reporters the finger, and he danced disrespectfully behind the Queen. Right on, he's our Barack Obama, our cool guy. He was irreverent. He also was so fanatical about bilingualism that to this very day, if you got on a plane in Vancouver, the stewardess has to talk about la ceinture and blah, 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 and speak in French to a plane full of people who are English. Same with the East Coast. In Newfoundland, you got a bunch of fishermen saying bonjour for some stupid reason. And not only did he force French down the entire country's throat to the tune of trillions of dollars, but he forced multiculturalism down all our throats and said basically that Canada isn't about Canada. It's not about the people who built it, who were primarily Scots. If you go to a natural history museum today, you will not see anything about the Scots. You will see Cambodian laundromat, and you will see talk of some French trapper who sold someone a beaver pelt. Canada's true history is erased. And if you look at the money, you see Scottish guys. If you look at a map, you see McClure Crescent and McCarthy Road. But Trudeau worked very hard and spent a lot of our money making us not exist. And now Canada is a fucking mess. And you just elected that idiot's son, who's like him, but way stupider. Even John Oliver spent a big portion of his segment on what an idiot Justin Trudeau is.
There is some concern that Justin Trudeau may not be quite as smart as his father, as a journalist who's covered him concedes.
His father was considered sort of intellectually brilliant smart. Does he have that kind of smarts?
No. Now, my job is lampooning ridiculous politics, so I'm good. This is more fodder for me. But you, well, you're fucked.
Mr. Speaker, CSIS warned the Liberal government all the way back in 2015 that returning ISIS fighters were a continuing and real threat to Canada. They warned that Canadian citizens were recruited by ISIS, quote, not because they needed more foot soldiers, but because they want to teach the Westerners to take the struggle into every neighborhood and subway back home. So ISIS specifically trained Canadian fighters to come back here and terrorize our community, and the Liberals knew about it for over 2 years. So why is the Prime Minister so focused on reintegration services and not putting these people in jail?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, this government, like all governments, takes extremely seriously the safety of Canadians, and that's why everything we do is focused on keeping Canadians safe. And we know that a society that is safe is one in which we are using a broad range of tools to keep Canadians safe. Yes, we have enforcement, surveillance, and national security tools that we use to a significant degree, but we also have methods of de-emphasizing or de-programming people who want to harm our society, and that's the things we have to move.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition. Order.
Mr. Speaker, it's this Prime Minister's that's de-emphasizing Canadian security, and Canadians are tired of it. Conservatives who amended the criminal code to make it an offence to leave Canada to fight for ISIS. It was Conservatives who are focused on giving our law enforcement new tools to prosecute ISIS fighters. This Prime Minister is using a broad spectrum that includes poetry and podcasts and all kinds of counselling and group hug sessions, Mr. Speaker. When will the Prime Minister take the security of Canadians seriously and look for ways to put these ISIS fighters in jail?
Right, Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the Conservative Party learnt nothing from the last election and the lessons Canadians taught them. They ran an election on snitch lines against Muslims. They ran an election on Islamophobia and division. And still, they play the same games trying to scare Canadians. The fact is, we always focus on the security of Canadians, and we always will. And they play politics of fear, and Canadians reject that.
Wednesday come early. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition. Order. Order.
Mr. Speaker, nobody voted in the last election to elect a government that would be so focused on the rights of ISIS terrorists, people who watch soldiers burned alive in cages. When people like that come home, they don't need to spend time writing haikus. They need to spend time in jail. When will the Prime Minister take that seriously?